So today I'm working on the waistcoat stitch, which is also called the knit stitch because there's all these visible V's, just like in knitting, on the surface of the fabric. You can see here when I first started, I wasn't doing that great. So when I first started, I was using this hook, which is a 6mm hook, and this brand is one of my favorite. I call it the toothbrush hooks because the handle reminds me of a toothbrush handle. But it has a nice tapered hook and is comfortable for me to hold the way that I crochet. But I found that I was having trouble because this stitch works into the middle of the single crochet, not into the top of the stitch where you would normally work. You work into the center of it, like what would be considered the post in a taller stitch. I guess it's still considered the post, but so anyway, I found it was really difficult to find where to put my hook, and I wasn't getting even stitches on both sides. You can see, like, this looks like I got two in the same stitch. They're just kind of more scattered and all over the place. So I ended up switching to this hook, which is somewhat newly released. This is from the Hook Nook, and they sell them at Joann's. This is also a 6mm hook. So you can see that this portion of the shaft and this portion of the shaft match up. But where this is a little bit better for this stitch is that the tip, you can't see it from there, the tip is just ever so slightly pointier than this one, and also the shaft gets thicker, so it sort of the whole thing is tapered, not just the end. So I've been finding it useful to use a hook with a tapered shaft than one with a straight shaft for this stitch. So it's a variation on single crochet. So you chain one to turn, and then in order to find the stitch you need to work into, let me get my light a little closer. How's that? So to find the stitch, you have to look for the pie symbol. Lots of the videos I watched or explanations said to go in the middle of the V, which I guess makes sense, but this border on top was confusing me. If we were working in the round, we would be inserting right into the V, but because we're turning our work every time, it doesn't show on this side as a V. You've got that little bar across the top and then the two legs. So I think it looks like a pie symbol. Random scrap of paper, sorry. Sort of like this, and you want to insert your hook right here, and then I've been finding it helpful to check back on the back side. So this is front and this is back, and make sure that my hook is coming through between the V. So it's a pie on front and a V in the back. So I'm just going to go ahead and insert my hook right under the top of that pie symbol, flip it over, and here, these are the two legs of the V, right here and right here. So then I can yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through both loops. And then I'm going to do the same thing going into just underneath the top of the pie, check in the back and make sure that I'm in the middle of the V. And then I can yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Again, insert, check the back side. There's my V right there. Pull through 2. And then I'm gonna move my light back so I can stop bumping it. So it's still, I don't know if that's still good. Get this guy out of my way. And oh see, I almost just made a normal single crochet. I found that I keep having to check the back as I go through this, but I've also never done this stitch before. This little sampler is the first time that I did it. I think this might be the first stitch I've done that I didn't already know. So that's why I have some mistakes down here, but I just kept going until I got the hang of it, because I don't mind if these little swatches have mistakes in them. That's no big deal. I'm probably moving all over the place because I keep looking at the back. Let's see if I can do some without looking. Into the middle of the pie. And then a single crochet. Did I get those? Inside the V, inside the V. Yeah, I think I did all right. I'm not crisscrossing. So, because what I was doing previously was I would insert it in the right place on the front, but then sort of go crooked and end up, these are the 2 V's I'm supposed to be in the middle of. So I would sort of end up next to them instead of going straight through the stitch. And that, you can't really look at the back while you're doing it either, because you might not be in the right spot on this side, which I wasn't. So it takes a little bit of getting used to. Doesn't work up as quickly as some of the other things, which is probably why I've never bothered to learn it before. I find that lots of these single crochet variations work up slow for me, and I get bored. I like things that work up very quickly. Which is also why I do a lot of small projects like hats and clothes for dollies and like slippers and gloves and stuff like that. And then in the last one here, it's a little bit harder to see where to put your stitch, but I just go right in the end, and this one isn't going in between anything. It's just a normal single crochet, and I don't know if you're supposed to do that, but that's what I've been doing to try and keep the edge kind of neat. It's not perfect, but it's all right. And then if you look on the back side here, you can see now on this side we have all of our little bars for the single crochet that makes the top of the pie symbol. So whereas if you were working in the round where you would just join and continue on, then you would be able to insert into the middle of the V's, because that's what's on this side. So I'm just gonna do that one row for this one. I am gonna go ahead and finish this swatch. I only have this much yarn left on my bowl, but I'm not gonna film that because I'm already at over 10 minutes. So that's it. Tapered shaft hook instead of a straight shaft hook, and look for the shapes, the pie shape on one side and the V shape on the other every time you insert your hook until you get the hang of it, so that you don't end up with a crooked mess like I had for this first few rows here. Thank you. Bye.